What's up, guys? Welcome to the Fantasy Addiction Network. Today we are recapping the top 100 skill position players for fantasy in 2019. Today we're looking at player number 97, Jason Witten, tight end for the Dallas Cowboys. Finished the season as tight end number 11 through weeks 1 through 16. He had 133.5 points. Played all 15 games across that 16-week span, which gave him an average of 8.9 fantasy points. Nothing great, but I mean, he basically was the Frank Gore of tight ends. If you recall, for like multiple years when Frank Gore was with the Colts, he'd always finish as running back 12. Never really had too many blow-up performances to make you happy, but he was just always right there, solid, keeping up with the average points that you needed to be a low-end running back 1. Well, same thing with Jason Witten. Finished the season as a low-end tight end 1, but just nothing really too exciting going on here. If you look at his first half to second half, pretty consistent. Finished the first half as the tight end 12. Finished the second half of the season as tight end 16. So, again, just, very consistent across Jason Witten. That's pretty much been his MO for his entire career. I think there's definitely some, openness to him coming back for one more season. This was his 16th season, so we'll see if he comes back for his 17th season. But definitely came back and basically picked up right where he left off after missing the season in 2018 to go be a Monday Night Football analyst. So finished the season with 63 receptions, which is pretty good for a tight end, 529 yards and only 4 touchdowns. But again, just looking year over year, he doesn't miss many games. He's only had one season where he only started 7 games. That was his rookie season, and hasn't missed any games since then. So he's always been the picture of health. And has been very consistent from a team perspective, so I really wouldn't be surprised if the Cowboys brought him back for one more year. It just doesn't really bring too much to the table for us from a fantasy perspective. If we look at his game logs here, he had multiple games where he was averaging over 10 points, a couple down weeks between weeks 3 and 5. Stinker against Minnesota in week 10, another stinker against the Patriots in week 12, but had that nice game against Buffalo with that nice one-handed touchdown catch, 6 receptions for 42 yards and a touchdown. So, I mean, if you scored a touchdown, you were happy. If you didn't, you weren't. So, considering the tight end landscape, if you weren't able to nab, one of the top 3 guys or be able to steal like Mark Andrews or Darren Waller towards the end of the draft, if you picked up Jason Witten in the last round, he got it done for you most weeks. So that's pretty much what we're looking for in a tight end, to just be consistent, not be hurt every single week. Looking at you, Evan Ingram, and really just give us consistency. But he doesn't really give you the chance to dominate at the tight end position week in and week out. So this is always more of your, are you trying to play it safe, or are you trying to play to win kind of player? Jason Witten is definitely your play it safe, and that doesn't typically win you fantasy championships. So probably gonna be looking at someone else going forward in the next season, but it's always nice to see players that can continue to dominate year in, year out. Jason Witten has had a fantastic career, and has just continued to be a solid producer for the Cowboys. So we'll see how that translates for fantasy next year. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video, giving us a good recap of Jason Witten. We'll continue to break down the top 100 skill position players and continue into the next video for player number 96, Will Fuller.